Hey everybody, so I'm here at St. Paul's Cathedral. So I just wanted to talk about religion and identity because I don't know how much I've mentioned it, but when I wanted to get back into to Christianity, because I had kind of apostatized when I was 12, and when I started reading about it and I started to kind of become more conservative, I figured I should start going to church. I should find a denomination and stick with it. And my first inclination was Anglicanism, because my father's family, being very English, were Anglican. My great-grandfather served in India. My great-uncle served with the British Commandos, specifically the Gurkhas in World War II. My grandfather got someone to doctor his birth certificate so he could join the army in time to fight in World War II. My father's family has always been very patriotically English, always very devoted to the Queen and the Empire, and that kind of thing. And so yeah, I was born and baptized Anglican. My mother's family are liberal Mennonites, so the compromise was we went to a United Church, which is arguably the most liberal denomination of Christianity in the world. But it was, well, if you can call it Christianity, which I don't really consider it. It's like a pseudo-Christian liberal religion based on worshiping liberalism. But regardless, that was my first inclination, was to go with Anglicanism. And there's a lot of things I like about it, from a theological, other than just being like cultural and ethnic. And I know you're going to say, but Arjun, you're half German. That's true, but my paternal line has been in England since the time of the Normans. My ancestors first came here with William the Conqueror. And the desire to kind of take part in that was very strong. Beyond that, I like the diversity of theological opinion in Anglicanism. There's Calvinists, there's more kind of Anglo-Catholics, there's more kind of evangelicals, there's people who are kind of a mix. I really liked that. I liked how there was a lot of different approaches to Christianity within kind of this overarching religious scheme. I really appreciated that. I liked how they maintained a lot of like the good aspects of Catholic architecture and aesthetics, etc. When I was trying to decide which denomination to choose, I came down to three: Lutheranism, Anglicanism, and Catholicism. And I really wanted to be Anglican. The only reason I'm not is not for religious reasons, but for social and political reasons. Now, as I think I've made pretty clear on this channel in the past, my number one issue is defending the family, is the preservation of the family, a married mother and father raising their children is what I believe in more than pretty much anything else. And that's identical to my Christian faith, because if God himself felt the need to have a married mother and father when he chose to take on flesh, then that's good enough for me. That aligns perfectly with my natural, logical views. And the Anglican Church has abandoned that. I don't know, because it's very confusing, because the Episcopal Church is in schism. I'm not sure if the Anglican Church in Canada is, but it's just a mess, and it's just falling apart at the seams. So like some of them now support gay marriage. I know the Episcopal Church does. I'm not sure if divorce is accepted yet, but if it isn't, then that's really strange, because it was kind of founded on divorce. So you have that. You have the ordination of women, which is something that I can never personally accept. So you have all these things that are like actively breaking down traditional gender roles and breaking down the family. And it's just something I can't get on board for. And that was the reason I'm Catholic instead of Anglican, was Catholicism was kind of the last holdout on a lot of those social and political issues. even if in practice now it's not a holdout on those issues, it's still kind of on the books that way. So it's hard because I was in there. It's a beautiful church. Horatio Nelson and Arthur Weasley, the Duke of Wellington, are buried there. I was at Westminster Abbey. Most of the prime ministers were buried there, along with Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, all these kind of who's who of English civilizational achievement. And I see that, and then I see like female ministers, I guess priestesses, and it's just, it fills me with such revulsion, and there's this almost like embarrassment about it being Christian in nature. Because England used to be a very devout country. It wasn't ever really devout in the same way that the French or Spanish were, I guess, but they kind of had their own thing going. And it was a very important driving force in their, like I said, in their drive for empire, to spread the gospel, etc. But that's all gone now, and now you just have kind of this post-Christian society, which is awful. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Talk to you guys later.